everyone, it's Miss Patel. I'm going to be looking at this question: how was a stalemate broken in World War One? So as we know, there was a stalemate for most of the First World War, and that was due to trenches. So we're going to look at how that was eventually broken in 1918. So the first thing we're going to look at is the fact that there were no more trenches, and we've got examples of that with the 100-day offensive, okay, where it was a war of movement. There was no static warfare. They were moving around quite quickly, and there weren't any use of trenches, okay, or at least there weren't as many use of trenches in comparison to other battles. The second reason is because of air power. So the Allies' aircraft outnumbered the Germans 5-1. This is a really good statistic to remember and use as an example. If you ever get a question on this, you could get a 16-mark question, for example, on this, or even an 8-mark question. And another way that aircrafts were important is because they were able to photograph where the German positions were and then attack accordingly. So their strategy improved with the use of air power. Okay. Next one is the Americans entering the war, as we know. When Russia left in 1917, around the same time, the Americans entered the war due to the Zimmerman telegram and the submarine warfare as well. So we've got more troops coming in. So by August 1918, we've got 1.4 million American troops coming in. Okay, this is obviously going to have a significant impact for the Allies. There's more weapons. The soldiers are not tired or exhausted like the British and the French. Okay, and they're skilled as well. So we've got that as another reason, because we've got a lot more people, a lot more soldiers fighting on the Allies side than ever before. Okay, so they're able to break that stalemate. Okay, next one is the use of weapons. So we've got, obviously, as the war went on, the weapons got better and improved. So an example is the accuracy of artillery, okay, because as we know, when we had the artillery bombardments in certain battles, like the Battle of Somme, they weren't always very accurate and actually caused some deaths as a result of inaccuracy. So now we've got a lot more accuracy, so that's good. And then we've got smoke screens as well on guns for extra protection against the German machine guns. And we've also got better use of tanks. Okay, they improved. Remember in the Battle of Passchendaele, tanks were sinking in the mud. Okay, we've also got tanks to use for supply. So instead of carrying everything on their backs, they're now carrying it in the tanks, and they're following the positions of the soldiers. Okay, next one is teamwork. We know that Ferdinand Foch was leading the French, British and Americans. Okay, so we've got one leader, okay, leading 3 different armies, and so there's a much clearer plan of action, and it's much easier for them to win the war, okay, because they're not doing different things at the same time. And the last one is strategy. So they're moving a lot more quickly, okay, and we know that through air power as well, because they know where the Germans are, so they can quickly send photographs and see where to attack. And then their surprise attacks, okay, and the point of the strategy was to basically exhaust the Germans and force them into armistice, which is eventually what happened for a number of reasons. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is try and think about how these different points actually link. Okay, so if I give you an example, we've got, so if we take teamwork, for example. So teamwork we can link to strategy, because if everybody, meaning the French, the British and the Americans, are using the same strategy, okay, that's going to help break that stalemate, okay, and force the Germans to retreat, which was the point, okay. So what I'd like you to do is think about how these different points over here are actually linked together, yeah? And all of these reasons are why the stalemate was broken in the First World War, okay? Thank you.